Garry, how difficult have the last few days been?
Yeah, it's been tough. It's never nice losing in a green shirt because of the amount of work we all put in. You know, the players, the staff. So yeah, that's tough. I mean, it's good in a way having the 2 days, the Thursday game, having the 2 extra days to reset. But then we're all left with our thoughts for those 2 days as well. So I was keen to get in and rip into the reviews as tough as they are. You know, always feel better for facing it head on.
What did Andy say? Take us into that changing room. What did he say when he looked you in the eyes after the game?
He didn't speak too much. I think there was an element of a feeling amongst us. We know we hadn't quite delivered from the off and how we started the game, and trying to build or grow into a game towards the second half against a team of their quality is it's too little too late, I guess. So yeah, he kind of just touched on that briefly, and he knows we're all hurting, and you can see the coaches with all the work they put in, they're hurting too. So yeah, listen, he's about resetting, regrouping, attacking the next week. So that's kind of what he's been at.
29-0 down. What are you thinking under your sticks?
I mean, you try and always be as moment focused as possible, and we speak about that, and that's irrespective of the good, the bad, the ugly that's gone before. So the leaders amongst the group are trying to deliver on that. The players are trying to deliver on that. So, albeit a tricky spot to be in, it's not to get too focused on the bigger picture. Although you need to consider that. You know, the most important thing is the next moment and trying to nail that. Now, the unfortunate thing is for parts of that game we were focusing on that next moment, but weren't quite delivering.
You knew what was coming into the match, how good they were. Did they surprise you at all? And if you had to pinpoint anything why you guys didn't function, what was the reason?
I think in terms of a surprise now, like as in you see the quality they have, so I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. I think they executed their strengths unbelievably well. Their counter-attack transition game, they nailed, scored tries off that, which felt like, I mean, it's just like a punch in the face. It's happened so quick, and that's a quality to them. So, I mean, we had spoken and tried to prepare for it, but it just shows their strength to be able to deliver on it. So yeah, I don't know, the question, surprise. I mean, you try and prepare for everything, but then at the end of the day, they delivered on, I'm sure, what they were aiming on coming into the game, and we didn't quite deliver on what we were aiming.
If you look at the stats, not really like Ireland, 38 missed tackles, 67% completion rate. You're one of the ones that leads out of the line. Does that hurt you personally?
I mean, statistics, you try and sift through what really matters to say my position, or anyone's trying to do that. So yeah, it's I don't know what the stats exactly were, but they sound high, and there was that feeling when you're slipping off tackles against their attacking side, or their ability to keep the ball alive and run through the line. Yeah, it'll cost you, and that was pretty evident.
You've had your review this morning, I presume, or over the weekend. What was said? Who spoke? Who didn't? We have a team review, and then we split into unit reviews. So the backs were looking at areas of the game that were applicable to us, and equally the forwards, and then we try and join that up together. And it's just a walkthrough today in the gym. So, I mean, we're always encouraged to come to the meetings with an opinion, come with a point of view. So kind of what it might look like is, certainly for backs, is a point or question might be raised and break into smaller groups and discuss it, and then feed points back and kind of share. So everyone's kind of speaking a bit, you know what I mean? And then I wasn't in the forwards meeting, but then in the backs meeting, it's kind of, in the team meeting, it's joining that all up together. And there was some things we were trying to get clarity on to hopefully improve when we're in the opposition 22 to come away with points definitively. So there was an area like that we could have been better. There was some in the kicking game that the backs were speaking on in terms of catching or receiving and chasing kicks. So yeah, plenty of work-ons that we're going to really focus on this week and do our best to get right on Saturday. Lack of intent was what Andy said. You talked about the 50-50s, maybe lost passive in defence. It all felt like everything just went wrong in the night.
Yeah, it is funny as there's so many 50-50s and fine margins in the game, but I know he did say you make your own luck, and it's true in a high speed contact sport to a certain extent. There's little things no one really notices or sees, but that what you compound enough of them, you make your own luck, and we didn't quite compound enough of them.
I know it's all about the inside. The outside are obviously making noise. Ireland are maybe falling. How do you see it as Garry Ringrose, the outside centre for the team?
Not to be, whether it's been in the team going really well or the team suffering a loss, the kind of from my perspective, it just stays the same, that you don't pay attention to that. I certainly focus on the process, focusing on trying to improve as much as possible, focusing on being honest with each other, and that's the case if we've won or lost, and that's what's great about the playing group and the coaches especially. They don't sugarcoat anything and confront absolutely everything, and that's what we appreciate as players. And so, as I was saying, it's no different whether there's noise, good, bad or ugly outside. We kind of try and face the reality or our own reality in here.
The reality was a defeat at the weekend. The attack 2 years ago, I know Johnny's gone, was slick, firing, maybe not quite as good now. What's changed?
Well, I think the weather probably impacted the attack a bit on what was Thursday, but so that probably hindered us a little bit getting into our flow. I think they kicked effectively in terms of those attacking kicks that they got huge reward off, and then we didn't quite get the rub of the green like some of those 50-50s on some of our own attacking kicks, but that's the nature of the beast. And what we were looking at there is, if we're faced with conditions like that again, how can we find a way to get into our flow and play to our strengths? So yeah, like I was saying, it's not something we didn't quite deliver on, but we're motivated and to try and fix and get right this week.
You talked maybe a couple of weeks ago about moving from Leinster to Ireland defence, and you said to be a great player, it's no excuses. Is it hard? It certainly looks hard. How do you deal with it?
It's not an excuse. I think there's any team I've been in, there's a way of doing things, and as a player, you got to do it the way that's expected of you, because that's what's best for the team. So yeah, that's how I look at it.
And defensive systems between Province and Ireland, how does it change?
I mean, there's a lot of similar principles, so it's potentially made into something more that it's not, but there's times when you take maybe a bit more risk in with Leinster that at this international level I guess you can't afford to do. So that might be something small in the wider channels, but having said that, there's principles that run right through Leinster and Ireland, and speaking to the other lads as well, the other provinces too, in Ulster, Munster, Connacht, it's principles that you can't get around, that you need to deliver on to win a game. And yeah, as I said, that's not something we unfortunately did on Thursday.
You'll be delighted. We'll move on now. Italy on Saturday.
Yeah.
They're firing. Minicello, Brex.
Yeah.
How do you stop them?
Jeez, great question. They've been exceptional. I know Ignacio Brex has gone to Toulon now, and he's doing brilliantly there. But when they were playing together, they were a nightmare to play against. And yeah, they're keeping that the same way now with Italy, with the result over the weekend in what was unbelievably tough conditions. I haven't seen rain like that in a while, and you can see the pulls on the pitch, but they found a way to deliver. So yeah, they're on to something good, and we've got our work cut out for us to, as centres anyway, to get it right to hopefully win against those two.
Can't even remember the last time Ireland lost 3 in a row. Do you feel the pressure, Garry? I know you've been around a long time.
I mean, every time I play for Ireland, there's pressure to win, and that's something you just got to face and front up to. And I think that's how it should be, because it's such an honour and a privilege for myself or anyone to play for Ireland, that you just got to be all in and throw absolutely everything on it, in your preparation, the process, the days leading up to the game, the small connections with players, making sure on the same page with coaches, and then do everything possible to deliver on the day. And obviously so many variables within that, but there's pressure, the best kind of pressure to do that. So yeah, that's why I look at my experience, that it doesn't change, I guess.
Do you believe this group in there that you're out training with is as good at what it was a couple of years ago, and also is able to get back to its best?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think there's guys in the group that are new guys in the group that are unbelievably hungry to win at the top level. There's also guys that have got a taste for it and have won at the top level. So there's a mix of will, grit, motivation to deliver and win at the top level.
You played 6-7 games this season. Where's Garry Ringrose's fitness right now, and how do you feel you're playing?
Fitness is all right. Yeah, a bit of a hamstring issue in November, and then that carried on. I kind of crept up again against Harlequins in Europe, so I was fighting to get back for Leinster, and then thankfully got back and put the hand up to get in here. So fitness-wise, yeah, all good, thankfully.
As a senior player, do you feel more responsibility to turn this round?
See, again, looking at, I guess, turn it around and all that, you just, as a player in this group, you feel responsibility and the pressure to perform and win. And as I said, I wouldn't have it any other way. So that's how I look at it.
Everyone's one game at a time, which is fair enough, but also the aspirations for this championship, what are they, Garry, now?
Well, I think it is important to win the Six Nations. A good start helps, but that's not the position we're in. So, it's all eyes on getting a better performance Saturday. Everyone rowing towards trying to prepare for a win and hopefully deliver on a win. That's where all our focus is. Can't leak anywhere else, to be honest.
And a couple of final ones. What's the game plan for Italy at the weekend? Will it change at all to what it was against France that didn't work?
I mean, there's certain things. There's stuff we want to get better with regards to the kicking game, some of our attack in the 22. So I wouldn't necessarily a game plan, but it's just try and sharpen some of those things we didn't quite deliver on. They're exceptional. They showed their defensive capabilities against Scotland, especially towards the end. So we'll need to be on it and unbelievably connected in our attack to try and break that down. And then defensively, even their set, they scored off the set piece with Brex's putter, or that Brex's kick through, then off transition where they won the high ball and played to the edge. So they're all caught from an attack perspective. Being across that as well, that's what we'll need to get right.
You played with a good few centres now, Bundy and Robbie, now it's Stuart, McCluskey, 7th, 8th time. What's your relationship there, and do you like playing alongside him?
Yeah, no, I do. I think he showed on Thursday how effective he can be, and I was saying it last week that he's a big man, unbelievably physical, can carry through the line, but then also his footballing ability at the line too is a real strength of his. So he's a pleasure for me as a 13 to get a chance to play with, and I've a good relationship with him off the pitch, like all the centres do. We try and stick together, and no matter what combination goes out there, it's kind of representing the wider group of centres. So that's what certainly last week we were challenged with, and whoever it is this week, hopefully do the centres proud.
And a final one, a lot of learnings from last Thursday night. How do you make sure you resurrect that for Italy?
Like I've spoken today a lot on there's a load of learnings and stuff we didn't deliver on in the game, and stuff we were eager to deliver on that we didn't quite get right.
Does that make it hurtful even more?
That's what I was going to get to, is that it's, despite all that going on, to get a chance to represent Ireland is such an honour that words don't quite do it justice. That all of us are representing our families. Each of us have our own journey to get to that point, to get on the pitch. So you just want to do everything to, I guess, do them all proud, do yourself proud, and then us as a group. So that's always the case, and that's certainly the case this week. As I said, such an honour, such a privilege, that just motivation or desire, it isn't the thing you go looking for, because it is there. And that's why when you asked about the group, that there is that feeling, there's that sense that everyone wants to go out and you do absolutely everything for their country, and appreciates the honour that it is. So when you have that feeling, that's kind of special to be a part of.
Garry, thanks for being so honest.
Thank you.